Oh shit. Alright, morning everybody. Today I'm going to do a little review on this monster of a machine. 2016 XMR Outlander 850. It's if I got about 50 hours on it now, so we'll call it a 50-hour review, and I'll tell you what I think of it. Alright, I'll tell you the problems I've had with it. And I've got about 5 months now I've had it. It's a 6-month warranty. So the main one that I brought it in for was the Bar Bushings. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a block back here. And just on the linkage there's a couple of bushings. They were clanking. Every time the machine went over stuff, it would clang. So I brought that in, and BRP covered the warranty on them, all parts and labor, so that was nice. I had, I think on maybe the 4th ride, I had a front tie bar. The end came loose. So the wheel was rocking the whole ride, and I didn't know it because we were in some mud, but so it doesn't look like it's damaged anything, although there is a little tiny clunk in here. But when I brought it in, Gordon's told me that that's normal on the new ones. A little bit of play. See if you can hear this. Just a tiny bit. So we'll see if that becomes an issue. I had a headlight burned out. That's not covered by warranty. That was like after the 3rd or 4th ride. Over here, the manufacturer recommends that these be torqued down to 74 foot-pounds. And when I torque them down to 74 foot-pounds, next time I go to take them off, it's almost impossible. So eventually one of these ones on this side started spinning, and now it won't tighten. And they say it's not a warranty issue, so buy another stud, I guess, and change that out. I think maybe 74 foot-pounds is a little too much. Everybody else is just tighten them. And there's one thing that you can't see at 50 hours now, and the brake pads are almost totally gone. More so on one side of the caliper than the other. But apparently that's not a warranty issue either. So aside from all that, it's a really good machine. Really liking it. In the mud, those tires are crazy. A lot of torque on them. Those tires like to dig down. They don't really want to crawl forward. When you're in the mud and you get stuck, it'll just keep digging down. But if you get off the machine and you give a little bit of throttle just so the tires barely start spinning, it'll climb up on the mud and climb out most of the time. The odd times it'll just sit there and do nothing. And then you gotta get a tow out. Had her stuck a few times, but most of the time she can power through. And a lot of the stuff, 80% of the stuff, you're 2-wheel drive. So I've been doing the service on this machine myself, changing all the oils, the front diff, you can see through all the weeds here. The fill plug is there. The drain plug on the front is see under here, down underneath here, in there. There's a 5mm hex and a 6mm. Same on the rear, except the drain is right there on the side, and the fill is right there. I think it was 250 millimeters on the back, 75 140, and 500 on the front, 75 90 I believe, and the 75 140 using the tranny too. Now the only thing with filling up the tranny is you gotta take this foot well out, and it's down in here, and the drain plug is located nicely right behind the rear brake here, so you have about half an inch to try and get a wrench in there and get at it. It's quite the pain. And that's the fill for the engine oil. The engine filter is right in here, so when this is off, do everything at the same time. Pretty straightforward change. Now if you want to get at the change the air filter or clean the air filter, little clip there, seat comes off, pull up on that, pull it out. There's your air filter with a pre-filter. Oiled it up a bit. It's just a paper filter, so if you get that wet, it's done. But really haven't had any water in there. A little bit of splashy, but not bad. Stuff her back in. If you want to get the gauge console off, you grab it down at the bottom, you squeeze it and it clips, and you pull the front up, and there's where all my hoses are run up to. The air intake, and this is one of the CVT. I don't know if that's the intake or the outtake. I think it's the outtake. Intake I think is here behind this. You unclip these things and a couple clips here and you slide it up. See if we can get this back in now. You gotta get that wire back in. There we go. And then it just clips down. Always need a little screwdriver or something to push these tabs in and push it up. It's pretty tight. But the intake is right there. Rad fill is right there. Haven't had a problem with this overheating at all. It's nice up there, doesn't get much mud on it. You can see the black flies are crazy today. I'll put this back together. Slide it in, line up the holes, down, it's in. And I'll let you see the rest of the battery. That's for the brake fluid. That's about it for that. Just like that. Okay, so back to the tires. I know a lot of people have been saying, well, it's a rough ride. There's a little bit of vibration in there, but if you're riding on the trail, it's bumpy anyway, so when you're on the road, it's not that bad. If you're going maybe 15 miles an hour, it's like dun 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 dun. But other than that, I'm not going to change them out for trail tires. These lugs have held up pretty good considering the power on this thing and spinning it. They're starting to wear a little bit, and there's a couple little rips in the top here, chunks, smaller rocks. But they've held up well. We got 1,100, just over 1,100 kilometers, I think. So I'm happy with them. Happy with the power. You can wheelie this thing. I'll give you a little demonstration of that. What else can I tell you? Having a blast with it. And I had this thing in, I got in up on the Brute 650 to go for a ride, and it felt like a little toy. It's pretty funny. Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention before I do a little ride around. A few people have been complaining about the belt. They're always burning or breaking belts. I got over 1,100 kilometers on it now, haven't had a single problem with the belt. I broke this thing in like a baby. First 10 hours, didn't put any torque on the tires, didn't rev it out, varied in speed. One thing, do not ride this thing in 4 high when you're doing any kind of torque, like a little mud hole or anything like that. 4 low, it's got plenty of speed, plenty of power. You put it in 4 high, you're going to burn a belt for sure. 4 high pretty much just for running roads. Even on tight trails you can run low most of the time. Haven't had a problem yet, so that's just my opinion, but it's worked for me, so hopefully it'll work for somebody else. Alright, let's check this out here. Switch on, lights. You switch it to the second on, the lights go off, so you have no lights on. Start up. Four low, all the way forward. Well, 4 low if you put 4 on, but low, high. Lots of power, wheelies like nothing. The short chassis, you can maneuver this pretty good. And the real cool thing is the power steering on this. You got 3 settings. You press the reverse when you're not in reverse. Press the reverse and hold it. It'll change. You got medium, max, minimum. Use it on minimum for all this little tight stuff. Really nice stuff, power steering. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the little 50-hour review. We'll get out there and ride. Thanks for watching.